What's up, everybody? It's your boy Rashad Buie back again, considering that like and subscribe button as I upload videos on a weekly basis covering the hottest topics in sports, especially if it's OU related. This is Ballin' with Buie. Sorry for the delay, it has been a long week, but today I want to break down the first round of the NFL draft that happened last weekend. It was a crazy NFL draft, probably the most insane first round that I've ever witnessed. There's a lot of high profile names just in the first round, so let's jump right in. The first pick obviously was a lock. Jaguars took quarterback Trevor Lawrence off the board. Everyone knew that was happening, everyone knew that was coming. It was projected for months, and that's exactly what happened. In second pick, Zach Wilson. Everyone also projected that the Jets would take Zach Wilson out of BYU. That's what I thought they would do. I wouldn't have taken him. I don't think he's the second best quarterback in the draft, but that's where they went. That's where I thought they would go. Now, the third pick, the 49ers surprised us all with their pick. They took quarterback Trey Lance out of North Dakota State. I thought that they would take Mac Jones because that's what I had been seeing. That's what a lot of people had been hearing over the past couple of weeks, is that Mac Jones would be the guy. But they shocked us all and took Trey Lance. We'll see if it pans out for him. You know, another North Dakota State quarterback in the league right now, with Carson Wentz playing for the Indianapolis Colts. So we'll see what happens. Fourth pick, Falcons took tight end Kyle Pitts out of Florida, which is what I thought would happen. It's what a lot of people thought would happen also. And then the Bengals. A lot of people thought that they were going to go offensive line right here, but I thought that they would take Jamar Chase and take that chance to link up Chase and Burrow back again. They were college teammates. Jamar Chase has never caught a ball from anyone except Burrow in college, so they reunite those two. They have a strong connection, obviously. They won a national championship together. The Bengals needed an offensive lineman, so it's kind of a risky pick in not taking that old lineman to protect Joe Burrow, but I didn't think they could pass up this chance, and obviously neither did they. Sixth pick, Dolphins, Jalen Waddle. That's what I thought they would do. Grab one of the best receivers to hopefully give you a spark on the offensive end of the field, because you don't really have much of one yet. Now, the Lions were able to trade up in the draft, I thought the Lions would trade with the Patriots right here, but the Patriots decided not to move up, and the Lions ended up taking the number one tackle off the board from the University of Oregon. Sewell, I think is how you pronounce his name. I still haven't learned it even after hearing it for weeks. Panthers with the 8th pick, they grabbed cornerback J.C. Horn out of South Carolina, which I didn't think he was the best corner on the board. I thought that Patrick Surtain III was the best corner coming into this draft, but they clearly did not agree. I mean, I thought he was the second best, so it's not a terrible pick, but I think you should have went Surtain here because he's great with man-on-man coverage. But anyways, Panthers grabbed J.C. Horn with that 8th pick, and then the 9th pick goes Patrick Surtain to the Broncos. They didn't get a quarterback. I guess they're just going to stick with what they got. Not really sure what their ultimate plan is here, but they ended up getting arguably the best corner off the board with that 9th pick. And then the 10th pick, Philadelphia Eagles trade up to jump over their divisional rivals, the Giants, and they trade with their divisional rival, the Cowboys. And they trade up to that 10th pick to get wide receiver Devontae Smith. And if you don't know, I'm an Eagles fan, and I was hoping we would get Devontae Smith. I thought that he would be able to fall to us at the 12th pick, but I guess maybe the Eagles have been hearing some things that the Giants were going to grab him off the board. So they trade up to be able to get Devontae Smith and reunite him with Jalen Hurts and provide Jalen Hurts with a weapon with a star wideout. So hopefully that pans out for them. Now with the 11th pick, the Giants ended up trading it to the Chicago Bears, and this was a huge move by Chicago. They traded their 2022 first round, their 2022 fourth round, and their 2021 fifth round to move up and grab quarterback Justin Fields. Now this is going to be kind of a new opening for the Chicago Bears. They've got a quarterback now that they can build around. They haven't had that. Mitchell Trubisky just wasn't that guy. He never was that guy. But Justin Fields, I think, is a great pickup for them, and this was a great move by the Chicago Bears. Moving on down to the Cowboys after they traded back, They get the best linebacker off the board in Micah Parsons out of Penn State. Now this was a move that they needed to make. They need to shore up their defense because their offense obviously has no issues with moving the ball, and they needed to add some depth and add some starters really on the defensive side of the ball because they got absolutely gashed last year. Moving on down, Chargers with the 13th pick. They get Rashawn Slater out of Northwestern to add some protection for Justin Herbert. 14th pick, the Vikings ended up trading it to the Jets for a 2021 4th-round pick and 2 third-rounders, I believe. But they ended up getting an offensive lineman, Elijah Vera Tucker, out of USC. And I thought that the Vikings were going to stay here and get an offensive lineman, Elijah Vera Tucker, but I guess the Jets thought they needed to move up to grab an O-lineman. Patriots at 15. I did not think a quarterback would fall all the way to the Patriots at 15, but it did. Mac Jones, they were able to pick him up. I think he was probably not who they really wanted, but I think it was their last option. I don't think Mac Jones is just going to translate to the NFL like people think he does, because Alabama quarterbacks don't translate to the NFL. But we'll see if that works out for the Patriots, because Cam Newton obviously is not the guy right now. Moving on down, Cardinals take a chance and they get Zaven Collins out of the University of Tulsa, a linebacker. Now he is a very good player. I thought 16 was kind of high to draft him. I felt like you could have probably got him a little bit lower than 16, but whatever. They grabbed Zaven Collins out of the University of Tulsa. 17 Raiders, they grab an offensive lineman. Alex Leatherwood out of Alabama, which is a good pickup for them. Dolphins at 18 gets defensive end Jalen Phillips out of Miami, another solid pickup. And Washington at 19 get linebacker Jamin Davis out of Kentucky. Kind of questionable. I don't really know if 19 was where he needed to fall. I feel like you could have grabbed him later also, like I mentioned a while ago with Zaven Collins. But whatever, that's who they get. Washington is a very solid football team, and they're just kind of adding depth, I think, on the defensive side of the ball. At 20, that's where the Giants fell after they traded with the Bears. They ended up getting a receiver anyways, and they got Kadarius Toney out of the University of Florida. And the Jaguars stated after the fact, Urban Meyer stated after the fact, that is who they wanted to grab with their next pick was Kadarius Toney, because they thought he's an absolute baller. And now the Giants have another weapon to add on the offensive side of the field. Colts at 21 get defensive end Kwity Paye out of the University of Michigan. 22, Titans get a very solid corner in Caleb Farley out of the University of Virginia Tech. And the Jets trade to the Vikings, so the Vikings fell to the 23rd pick. They end up getting an offensive lineman anyways. They got Christian Darrisaw out of Virginia Tech. And the Steelers made a kind of questionable pick in getting running back Najee Harris out of the University of Alabama. Now, the Steelers, I don't think running back was really the question mark that you needed to fill. You needed to protect Ben Roethlisberger because, 1, he's old, and 2, he's not mobile. So you needed to shore up the offensive line, and Najee Harris isn't going to shore up the offensive line. Is he a great running back? Yes. Could you have gotten him probably in the 2nd round? Yes, because running backs just usually don't go in the 1st round very often, and Najee Harris I don't think was a 1st round back. I mean, he's a great back, but I don't think he was 1st round caliber. Moving on down, Jaguars ended up getting running back Travis Etienne. Now, I don't think, obviously, that was not going to be their initial pick. They didn't want to take Etienne, but that's just kind of how it worked out. So they can reunite Etienne with Trevor Lawrence. I don't know how I feel about this pick still. I'm kind of wishy-washy on it. I don't think that's the direction they should have went, but Urban Meyer, I think, is just trying to build up the offense so they're able to put points on the board in this upcoming football season. And the Browns ended up getting cornerback Greg Newsome II out of Northwestern with a 26th pick, and this is a very good pickup for the Browns. The Browns are going to be a very good football team. They are going to contend for that AFC Championship. They don't have really any question marks on anywhere, offensive side of the ball, defensive side of the ball, and now you add Greg Newsome to kind of counterbalance with the corners that you already had. And you got Denzel Ward and you have some others. So this is just going to add to it, and the Browns are going to be a very good football team. 27, the Ravens finally got a receiver because they have been struggling on the offensive side of the ball. They got Rashad Bateman out of out of Minnesota. You have Hollywood Brown. You have Mark Andrews, but Hollywood Brown isn't that guy you're just going to throw the ball over and over and over. He's that deep shot guy. You know, he's that quick shot guy. He's going to run. I mean, he's not someone that he's got big hands and you're just going to sling the ball all game. And I think Rashad Bateman is going to kind of step into that number 1 role potentially, maybe the two spot. So we'll see. 28, the Saints. And I'm getting defense end Peyton Turner out of Houston. 29, the Packers, which are an absolute mess. Got Eric Stokes, and he's a very good cornerback. Also, there are a lot of good corners in this first round. It was a great pick by them, but who's going to throw the ball for you next year? You need to figure that out. 30, Bills, defense end Gregory Rousseau out of Miami. 31, the Ravens again. Got linebacker Jason Owa out of Penn State. And then the last pick, the Buccaneers, got linebacker Joe Tryon out of the University of Washington. Yeah, very good first round in the NFL draft. Alabama had a historic team. As we know, they absolutely ran through everyone in college football this past year. And they had 6 players drafted in the first round. I think that was the first time it had happened in the common draft era. But yeah, that wraps up the first round. I'll break down the other rounds in the next couple videos. Catch y'all then. Deuces.